This is the gospel according to the IRS, Breaking Points and Church Financial Updates. And now, here's the authority, Dr. Michael Chitwood and Breaking Points.
I'm Michael Chitwood. Welcome to Breaking Points today. We're going to continue from yesterday's lesson, and I hope that you are making sure you're getting this down because there's major changes. And tomorrow and the next day, we're going to conclude this part of this series. What I want to talk to you about today is how you can qualify as the dual status as an ordained minister. Now, let me examine a few words with you if I can. First of all, you know that every ordained, licensed, commissioned minister of the gospel has a dual status. That means two, you know that. So you're either ordained for income tax purposes and you're ordained for self-employment purposes. So a minister of the gospel has a dual classification pursuant to Section 1402C of the Internal Revenue Code. Now, what you have to do is you have to make sure that you know that classification for that person. Just because a person has credentials on the wall doesn't make them ordained and does not give them the dual status under 1402C. Now, what we have to look at is how to qualify every ordained, licensed, commissioned minister of the gospel and even exhorters minister of the gospel as a dual status person. Let's learn a couple of words. First of all, grab your pad and pen and let's write these things down. First of all, you have two classes of employees. There are only two classes of employees in the entire world. Number one, you have what we call an ordained employee, and the very opposite of an ordained employee is a non-ordained. So it's simple so far, right? The breaking point news is simply this. You are either ordained or you're either non-ordained. Now, what makes a person ordained? The credentials they have? No, we've been over that in the other lessons, and that is that the 9 sacerdotal duties make them ordained. Now, point 3. You understand that there's 4 subjects under the word Social Security. I want you to write down Social Security, and then under that, I want you to put number 1, I want you to put FICA, F-I-C-A, tax, FICA tax. Number 2, I want you to put SECA tax, S-E-C-A. Number 3, I want you to put self-employment tax. And number 4, I want you to put Social Security. Now, what does all 4 of those things mean? All 4 of those things mean one thing. I was at a seminar one time and somebody told me, I asked that question, I said, what does all 4 of those things mean? And a lady back in the back stood up and she screamed out loud, she says, they all mean taxes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she's absolutely correct. But what you must remember, even though FICA tax, SECA tax, self-employment tax, and Social Security all mean Social Security, there's different names for different classes of employees. In other words, you cannot take FICA tax out of an ordained, licensed, commissioned minister's paycheck if he or she is performing all of the 9 sacerdotal duties. You can't do it. And I know what you may be thinking right now, because I've heard it 1,000 times. Well, the board voted and approved for us to do this. Well, you need to be careful what your board members vote for, because I've learned that many board members don't know a whole lot about this subject. In fact, some board members could wind you up in serious trouble. That's why Breaking Points is going to continue with this important session tomorrow, and I'm going to put the conclusion on it the day after. So it's important for you to make sure that you understand that you'll get a W-2 form, but when it says FICA tax withheld, it will be 0 because all ordained, licensed, commissioned ministers of the gospel must pay self-employment tax on a special schedule that I'm going to share with you tomorrow. Until next time, this is Michael Chitwood. I'll see you tomorrow on Breaking Points.
Breaking Points gives you the latest IRS updates and tax law. Pastor, if the IRS came to your church today, what would you say? If you really want your house of worship in order, call 1-800-345-9117.